Hi, this is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make green beans that are really fast and fabulous. My skillet is warming up real well on medium heat. I don't like to cook things overly hot. And what I've got, I'm starting with some fresh green beans. These were fresh, they've been frozen. And so I took them out and ran them under water because I want to have them thawed. They are cold, but they do not feel like they've got any ice crystals left in them. So they are thawed out good enough for me. And it's about 2 cups, 2 1/4 cups of beans there. Okay, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil to this warm pan. And then I'm going to add in 1 medium clove of garlic that I have finely chopped. You can see that's already starting to sizzle. Oh, it smells good already. Now I'm going to go ahead and add those green beans. The water in there is making it sizzle quite a bit. Now, if you like your green beans to be very chewy, you could not put any water in this. But I think I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of water at a time. Just to kind of help soften them up a little bit. Just a little bit. Now I've got 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt here that I'm going to sprinkle on them. Actually, that's more than I need. You could probably use about half that, about 1/8 of a teaspoon, just a sprinkle of salt. Okay, that water brought this down a little bit, so I'm going to turn the temp up on the stove. And I have 1/2 teaspoon of dried basil. Basil is going to give them a nice flavor here. Now, I'm just pinching off out of that, so I'm probably going to use about half of that, so I'd say 1/4 of a teaspoon. Basil is going to be enough. Now what I want this to do is just cook until these beans are the texture that I want them to be. And I don't like to have things overly cooked and mushy. You can cook these as long as you want until you're comfortable with the texture of the beans. I added only 1 tablespoon of water in there. We could cover it up and let them cook briefly in steam in that. You can add a 2nd tablespoon of water if you want. The more water you add, the softer the beans are going to become. When the beans are close to being the texture that you want them to be, we're going to add 1 small tomato that's been chopped up into bite-sized pieces. You can see here, just bite-sized pieces. And this is just a small regular tomato. It's probably equivalent to 1 medium to 1 large Roma tomato, somewhere in that vicinity, because tomatoes are really good with green beans. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in there. Basically, all I want to do is warm those tomatoes up and just allow them to break down just a little bit, just to help steam those beans. I'm going to cover this and let it cook for probably 2 minutes is all I want it to cook, and then we'll be right back. I want you to see that these cooked just for 2 minutes, and all I added was a tablespoon of water, and you can see all the liquid that has formed in there. So you really do not need to add much water, if any. Just depends on how much you want these to cook. And again, I only allowed them to cook for 2 minutes. That's it, once I put the tomatoes in there. So maybe 3 minutes total time cooking is all it took. And these will be absolutely delicious. There. Now you can see that water that's left in the pan. And they are fabulous. Those beans were cooked so fast that lack of time is not an excuse on this one. Give it a try sometime and let me know your comments below. This is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Have a great day.